We are told to respect every culture, every belief, every tradition, no matter what it demands. But who's going to defend ours? Who is going to defend British culture, British ways, British norms? And before you do the whole, oh, but what are British ways? What is British culture? I will get there. But when do we draw the line? And when do we get to say, enough? This is our country. These are our ways. These are our norms. If we keep backing down out of fear, out of politeness, out of tolerance, what happens to the values that built this society in the first place? Respect, equality, freedom. We need to stand up for who we are. Yeah, so I'm very sorry to stick on this theme of values that clash with British culture or Western liberal societies. I started with talking about the burqa last, and to be honest, I'm not sorry. And this is the main theme of this video, apologism. And this needs to stop. Have a look at this video.
Wow.
How is everything?
Wow.
How are you guys?
You okay?
Legends here.
How are you, sir?
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to
Welcome to the show. Apologise. Thank you so much.
How are you
Habib, the UFC fighter, it is a pleasure to have you. We didn't know you were here.
This guy, me,
Yeah, I
you.
was.
You're a big PSG fan.
Yes.
This pissed me off. Why are we normalizing this in public life? So let me get this straight. A male MMA fighter refuses to shake a woman's hand on live TV because it's haram, and then she apologizes to him. This isn't even about religion. It's about which values we prioritize in public life. In Western societies, a handshake is a basic gesture of respect, mutual respect, equality. To refuse it because she's a woman and then have the woman apologize. What kind of a message are we trying to send? What are we doing here? Again, we are bending over backwards to accommodate ideologies that would never do the same for us. It's not about tolerance anymore. It's literally about cultural submission. It's one thing to respect religious freedom privately, but when it shows up in public institutions, media, shared spaces, especially in a way that subordinates women, we need to ask whose values are setting the tone here. This is why people are fed up. But don't get too fed up unless you might be sent for re-education. And it's not even about anti-Islam. You can't have someone on national TV reject a basic form of contact and then have others feel like they're in the wrong. And all this, oh, it's haram, it's about modesty, it's about faith. No, it's not. It's about power. Let's stop pretending otherwise. It's a subtle show of power dressed up as faith, even if it's subtle or not deliberate. These people use religion as an excuse to justify their disrespect and dominance over women. And let's be honest, if a simple handshake is too much for you because of your beliefs, then maybe it's your beliefs that are outdated and need to evolve. We are constantly told to respect all cultures, other cultures, but where is the respect for ours? Where is the respect for British standards, ideas, behaviors? Where is the common sense? Imagine if this scenario was reversed. A Western athlete travels to a Gulf country, enters a mosque and refuses to follow customs. Would they be given the same understanding and apologies? Because those societies have self-value, self-respect. They expect guests to follow their norms. So why does the West keep allowing our norms, especially around gender-based disrespect, to be trampled under the excuse of tolerance? We've reached the point where people are so afraid of being labeled Islamophobic, racist, intolerant, that they will apologize for being disrespected. And let's make one thing clear. Your beliefs are your own. You can live by them. But when you bring them into public spaces, into professional shared environments, they are subject, and they will and they should be subject to scrutiny. This idea that all beliefs should be treated with equal validity is absurd. Some beliefs are regressive. Some are outdated. Some are harmful. We have to be honest about that. And when those beliefs justify excluding or disrespecting women because they are not sacred, then that is sexist. We criticize sexism when it comes from white men, corporations, or the entertainment industry. Why should we make an exception for it when it wears some kind of religious excuse or cloak? And I mentioned British values earlier, and I can already hear, like I said, well, what are they? What are British values? You know, Britain doesn't have a culture. Wrong. And this is a lie that people keep saying so that they can keep doing whatever they want. British values, let's talk about individual liberty and let's bring in some philosophy. John Stuart Mill argued that liberty includes, yes, the right to live according to one's conscience, but as long as it doesn't harm others. This fighter is exercising his right to act in line with his faith, arguably not intending harm. But I say there is harm, there is exclusion, it is sexist, rejection, even if it's unintended or subtle. 2, mutual respect, key word, mutual. And I'm going to bring in tolerance here too. It must be mutual. There must be compromise. And if there can't be compromise, then the British way has to triumph. In some parts of Nigeria, especially in some villages, you still have to bow or kneel when you encounter someone that's older than you, an elder, so to speak. If I go there, it doesn't matter my personal beliefs. That is put to the side to align with local customs and cultural ways. Even in places like Japan, you bow, you remove your shoes and so on. If you don't, it's not good. And let me tell you, they won't be apologizing to you. But in the UK, we're the ones constantly apologizing. Make it make sense. We are sleepwalking into a culture where British values are simply being eroded bit by bit, little by little, all in the name of sensitivity and inclusion. If it continues in these little ways, people will stay silent, shrink themselves, suppress their identity, or tiptoe around others' belief, while those same beliefs are never expected to compromise in return. If we don't draw the line now, don't be surprised when a generation of young Britons grow up being told, well, you can't question that. You can't express pride in your country. Don't speak freely. You're going to offend others. Isn't that already happening now? And worse, they'll believe it's their fault for ever thinking that they had the right to speak or defend or be proud of their nation. This is more than a handshake. It's about whether Britain still stands for something, anything, or whether it will continue at every turn to bend to everything and everyone else.